Hello everyone, welcome to Bowls, A Theory of Everything. Today I'm going to look at trick shots. This is my tribute to the World Snooker Finals being played today and tomorrow. Snooker is renowned for its trick shots. Have you ever been in a tricky situation on the rink? What you need is a trick shot. What you will see now is a selection of shots you might find useful. I've seen most of these in my bowls career, some played deliberately, some not. If you come across some of these which are a bit quirky, they'd be useful to play if you have a charity night or a fun evening. Otherwise, some of these can be used in a game. They may flummox your opposition, so I hope you enjoy them. So, here's where you need your first of your trick shots. You can see the black bowls have several shots there. Very difficult to draw, very difficult to fire them off. Oh, look, you can see an opportunity out on the wide. You've got a bowl there, you've got two of your red bowls, and maybe you can produce something like you might do in snooker, where you play one bowl onto another. And here you go, and it's pushed in, and you can see it's got a measure for shot. Taken away, saved loads of shots from the black bowl. Here's a second situation that we're in. Black again has all those shots and difficulty in drawing, difficulty in firing. But look, out on the wing, on the backhand, there's two bowls, but unfortunately one of them is a black bowl on the inside, so you can't knock that in, but you can come in off it like that. And there you go again. Again, you saved lots of shots by dinking in off those outside bowls. The next situation you see there, the jack is right over on one side near the ditch. The only way of getting that is to increase your angle. You have to step sideways off the mat, and you're about 2 feet off to the mat on the right hand side. That increases your angle. When you see me on the mat, you won't see my feet there, but that's what I've done. And the other thing is, when you go sideways, you've got no forward momentum, so you have to add extra weight. So here we are, I'm on the mat. I've taken a 2 foot wide stance, and it's a fixed stance. You see I haven't moved forward with my body, it's merely an arm swing. So you have to increase the power in your arm, but you've got that extra 2 or 3 feet of width to play with, and you can see I've drawn right near the edge and right on the jack. So that's a way to get round these problems of a displaced jack. The next trick shot is jack back up the rink. You can see black have got a lot of shots just behind the jack. You've got a cluster of reds in front of the jack. You can't draw, very difficult to fire. If you might get lucky and fire one red shot up, but it's a bit of a long shot to try that. So you'll see me coming through and pointing out in a minute that what we're aiming to do is come through the gap with a bit of weight, quite a lot of weight, and nudge that jack onto a back bowl, and then get it to bounce back up the rink. So we're going to bowl through this gap with a fair bit of space, a fair bit of pace. There it goes, and it's come back into the clump of reds. There I am. I look a bit like a robber. I've got a blindfold on. The idea is I'm not going to see where I'm bowling. Viewers will remember I use this as an aid to getting your length, because you have to visualise the length internally and let your body do the rest. So your body obeys what your mind's doing, but you have to get in your mind visually where the jack is. Now I've done that. I've stood on the mat. I know the line. I know the length. It's all in my mind. So I then just bowl blindfold, and I've got the blindfold well down, you can see, and I'm bowling. See how we do. Bit of a bump. I probably didn't get down as low as I normally do when I bowl, and let's see how I've done. I think it's drawing nicely onto the jack, and give that a try sometime when you're trying to get your length. Here's my next shot. You'll notice I'm pointing the wrong way. The idea is I'm going to bowl backwards. There's not much purpose behind this, but it's a bit quirky. If you're struggling with your forehand, turn around and keep the forehand grip, but bowl it backwards through your legs. And as long as you take the right aim, The only difficulty is it's a fixed stance. You haven't got the forward momentum, and it's obviously in reverse. But I did try this, and you can see that I did get the line, and in a minute you're going to see me aiming. Here I go. So I'm looking through, trying to visualize where I'm aiming through and bowling backwards. I think you'll see that I didn't get the required length by a long way, but I did get the line. I wonder if this, it sometimes when you feel faint, if you put your head down, you get the blood down. So if you're struggling, it might be a bit of a wacky thing to do. Try this shot, and it might, when you turn around the right way, suddenly clear your mind of everything. There I got the weight, and I think it's just drifting over. The next shot I'm showing you is the jack and the bowl at the same time, one following each other immediately. And it does, of course, would save time, but you haven't centered the jack. But it does show you the power of the lead has, that they bowling the jack, and if you bowl the bowl almost the same time, you've got the feeling for the weight and the line for both of them. Bear in mind, when you do crown green bowling in the north of England, that's what happens. You bowl the jack, and it's wherever it stops, you then bowl your bowl. So this is a similar thing. You are bowling the jack, and you can see I've got a rough fix on the line. So within a few seconds, I bowled the bowl, and we see whether they end up together. So I think it does demonstrate here that if you're in tune with the jack, you don't have to think very much because you're in tune with the bowl as well. And it's shown, it's right on it. So a good demonstration. It's always good to finish with a good shot. Best if you can do that. Gives you positive feelings to take into your next game. I hope you've enjoyed all these trick shots. You may be able to use them. I hope so. Please comment if there's some trick shots you've experienced or seen and you'd like me to share with you. And please also subscribe to get notification of my next video, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best to you. Bye-bye.